and listen, because this isn't just about speaking out, it's also about a continual process of learning for those of us who've been engaging with the issues. So when I first became elected in 2014, I really didn't know anything about the issue. It all sounded very complicated to me. And I think that in large part, that is what has happened to the global community. Difficult issues, people shy away from them. Even elected politicians shy away from them. Say, oh, it's a matter for, it's an internal matter. It's not an international matter. And I think that what's really important is to continue to educate people who are in decision-making positions, the politicians, the policymakers, the think tanks, but also people running a whole range of different human rights campaigns. And so I'm grateful for the learning and education that I had by engaging with your organisation, but also other organisations that are really trying to promote the cause for Jammu and Kashmir self-determination. I think that with the current crisis, it has really demonstrated to ordinary people globally what it is like to live in a prison. The idea of isolation, of having one's freedoms taken away, a lockdown situation is not something that many people have experienced in living memory. Sure, our forefathers did during the war and the Blitz, and in countries under occupation, it's how you have to navigate life on a day-to-day basis. So I think that this is a good moment to educate more widely, and I suppose that is what I would be pleading with you to do, to be part of that campaign to help educate people. I've always been a voice for women, for young people, and minorities, for people who don't have a voice. And I think that it's also very important to build solidarity between different sectors of your movement and your campaign. So the work that I've done with the women of Kashmir has been very crucial, and also with young people as well. And also making site visits. So being part of that community of people who's prepared to go that one step further. The first time I went to Pakistan must be about 3 or 4 years ago, and made a visit to Mufazarabad and met the half widows. And I can never stop thinking about them. Whenever I think about Kashmir, I think about the women that I met who don't know where their husbands are. And then I was able to introduce some of their advocates, Shamin Shaul, for example, to a group of a wonderful organisation called Widows for Peace and Democracy, which is joining up different women who find themselves widowed, joining them up together to try and be a stronger advocacy voice at UN level and various other international fora. So I think that's a useful role that I can continue to play. I'm very sad about Brexit. It's an absolute disaster. I mean, disaster for the UK, disaster for Europe, but also for all the human rights activists who found a platform there, a voice there, certainly more openness and less political careerism going on. Because the EU is a human rights organisation, is a defender of peace, it is an open space for that difficult discussion and debate. So although I don't have my platform at the European Parliament anymore, because I was an activist before I was a politician, I'm still an activist. And in that sense, I won't ever stop speaking out in the different forums where I find myself. So I just want to say that I was very I was one of the people responsible for a really important letter that Labour Party members signed and sent to Keir Starmer. So our new leader, Keir Starmer, I believe probably needs some education about the situation in Kashmir. And we had we passed a resolution at party conference last September about supporting Kashmiri cause to self-determination. And that was party policy. And even if we have a new leader is not supposed to decide party policy, it's conference. So I was very proud with an organisation that I'm now standing with called Momentum Internationalists. So we're a grassroots Labour Party organisation working within the Momentum grassroots organisation, but our outlook is being internationalists. And we initiated this very important letter that was signed by many people, many party members. We initiated that important letter that went to Keir Starmer. Because we mustn't be afraid of power. You know, we have to speak truth to power, and we have to be constant about that. So I suppose it's just important to say that I'm still with you on your very important journey. And there is a moment now to strengthen that solidarity between all peoples who find themselves on the receiving end of, if you like, double lockdown, because Kashmir isn't the only place, of course, Palestine also. And I have to say that the people of Kurdistan as well, the people living, the Kurdish people living in the south of Turkey and in the north of Syria, those people also in a terrible situation. And I noticed that some of the people on this call today are from Turkey. Well, we must also stand up to dictators like President Erdogan, and I'm doing that as well. And I think it's important that we recognize when power is being abused and when democracy is undermined. And so please step out of your bubbles, out of your boxes, right? Reach out that hand of solidarity to all people who are oppressed. And I think that is the way forward, that you build those links, you build that solidarity, you build those relationships, so that the struggle is a global struggle. It's not just a struggle for the Kashmiris or for the Palestinians or for the Kurdish people. We should be standing with everybody who finds themselves unrepresented or shut out of democracy or imprisoned because they happen to be in an opposition party. Okay, peace be with you, all of you. I can't stay too long. I will listen in for as long as I can, but I wish you all the luck in the world, and your cause is just.